Welcome back to the Live Zone Primetime on this Monday night as we head into a holiday work week, holiday weekend on the way. You taking a live look at Reagan National Airport from our Fox 5 Skycam at the wharf. Reagan National Airport going to see a lot of, I think it's safe to say, delays and ground stops this week because of all the America 250 and July 4th
you can't get out of here.
Festivities on the way. But that's not all. The big week here in the DMV with all of those things going on, it is going to be extremely hot, maybe even dangerously hot. So, of course, we had to bring in the one, the only meteorologist, Mike Thomas, to break down what to expect.
Thank you all for
the
having
week
me.
ahead.
My favorite show. I love you guys.
Hey, what a crowd! What a crowd!
Mike on a Monday.
Hey,
Come
Mike
on. We're doing
a new
this.
segment is Katadamas,
Monday.
then Mike on Mondays. Monday
I
Mike.
love it. I love it. Mike Thomas.
Mike Adamus.
Mike, hey,
Thank
we
you.
got a lot of
Giving
Damas.
you the forecast here.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful, and look, I mean, I rarely get to talk to you in the second half of this show.
I know.
So,
This is all right.
So
so
we get a little,
strap in, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
God bless you,
we're a
sir.
little bit more relaxed in this half hour, you know, getting mentally.
He
pumped
says
for the
that,
10
but
o'clock.
this
Oh,
is
really?
the
So
half
more-
hour that he
more
shows
relaxed?
up in
Wow.
a shirt and a
In
jacket,
in a mostly
not
suit.
in a Nintendo sweatshirt.
Right.
Nintendo
and shorts.
sweatshirt.
But what did we say?
But guess what? He doesn't have shoes on. I can see his socks.
They're nice socks, though.
We weren't supposed to talk about.
I know exactly. Cameron, what do you get a view of that?
No, he said
They're
he
nice-
specifically
they're
asked me
nice
not,
socks?
They're very
not to
nice.
put it
They're
on
solid.
camera.
They're-
He didn't say I couldn't.
Solid,
mention.
you know, good
I'm wearing
fit.
a black suit with white socks. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Hey, listen,
You're the fashion man.
I've done it many
rules.
times, I like it or not.
There are
And
no
our friend
rules.
Jim Lopez has looked down at me like this. Like, are you really wearing those? I go, yep. Because I have no other socks left.
So heat.
He,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Fashion
Wear your
maybe
socks.
not our
Wear 'em.
expertise, but he
Definitely
is.
not my forte on the fashion.
Wear the moisture wicking ones.
We can talk heat. And, look, the number one thing I always hear is it's late Jaloon. I've said Jaloon.
No way.
That's June plus July.
I like that.
I'm
like
making
it.
up as new.
Jaloon.
I've said it on air like 6 times because I'm thinking late June, early July. So I just combine it into Jaloon. I don't mean to do it.
Well
but
done. I like that idea.
That's weatherman mannerisms for you right there. But this time of year, people expect it to be hot, right? Today was a hot day, but it was right at average, what we
Right.
should be doing for this time of year. When we talk about dangerous heat waves coming, look, the thing, and we'll give you the reality of what this thing is that's coming up. You've heard the terms, heat ridge, heat dome. You may have seen it going around. It's called Death Ridge, and yeah, it's not an official weather term, but meteorologists do call it that, and we do call it that for an unfortunate reason. Heat's the number one killer. It's not tornadoes, it's not thunderstorms, it's not floods. Heat kills more people worldwide combined than all of those combined together. Heat's extremely deadly, and it's because we sometimes, don't we go out in it, we go for a run, go for a jog in the afternoon, and we think we can, and things get messed up within our
Right.
bodies because we need to be able to actively cool ourselves.
Exactly.
And then, look, I'm not a doctor, but my sister is, so it counts. You want to take it easy and take the heat extremely seriously, especially if you're planning to go downtown. 4th of July is probably going to be one of the more humid days. I don't think it's going to be the hottest day of this heat outbreak. I think that's probably Friday. But on the trail end of these things, you get extreme humidity, and that's going to send that real feel, that heat index value.
Yeah.
That's going to push it probably over 110. So let's go ahead. I'll dive into some of these numbers at last as we talk about
110.
this dangerous heat wave coming. What the actual heat dome is this red circle type thing, and you've probably seen this map here, social media, other places. What that is, and what these are called, are geopotential heights. It's helping us understand where waves of high and low pressure are in the middle atmosphere. This isn't what's going on at the surface. This is 10,000, 20,000 feet up, depending on what level and what time of year, all that. We won't get into that. What you need to know, under these heat domes, think of it as being kind of under the kitchen faucet without the cooling effects of the water. You're pulling air down. You're sinking air under these heat domes. And sinking air, you think about a mountain. Mile High Stadium out in Colorado.
Oh, yeah, I
you can
can't
hit
breathe.
baseballs farther because the air is thinner, right?
Right.
Because you're higher up. So when you're taking air from a high elevation and you're pushing it down to the surface, you're compressing that air. That is pumping up the heat a little bit. So that's kind of what happens under these heat domes. So the other thing that happens with it is because you have so much sinking air, at least initially, you don't get a lot of thunderstorms. You don't even get a lot of clouds. We're going to have a lot of sunshine. It'll be brutally hot with the sinking air around. Temperatures will really rise. And unfortunately, you see where those arrows are coming. That's intentional, coming from Florida, coming from the Gulf, rotating around towards us. As the heat wave goes on day by day, we continue to build the humidity each day. So each day kind of feels more and more miserable. This is what's going on at the surface under this heat dome, and yet you can see that's set for Friday right now. It's got that bubble of 100s right around the D.C. area, and I do think we could get maybe 103, maybe 104, maybe 105, which would be one of the hottest days in D.C. history if we're able to do it. We've only done it I tweeted the stat, and I forgot to grab the exact numbers, but since we started taking weather data in D.C. was January 1st, 1872. That was the first day they started doing it on the daily. And there have been something like 52,600 days since that day to today.
Wow.
And of that, only 13 have exceeded 104 degrees. And we could do that a couple of times this week. So that's how serious this heat is and how rare it is for the DC area. Even though, yes, I know it is summertime and we do get hot. Look at it's not just us. I mean, they have heat advisories from Minneapolis, from essentially the Canadian border, all the way down to almost the Gulf states, and then over to the east across portions of the interior Northeast right now, including New York, Boston. You know, there's some World Cup games going on in locations like New York's got one tomorrow. Thankfully, the heat wave's not there tomorrow. Philadelphia's got one coming up on the 4th of July. It could be extremely, that's an outdoor stadium. It could be extremely, almost dangerously hot for the players. So I'm sure that will impact in some way the games that will happen this weekend. Next couple of days, not really heat wave tomorrow, but we really do build it on Wednesday. You can see the difference, 90 and 100, and you will notice it with that jump in temperatures. Now, a little skeptical on 100 on Wednesday. We could do it. We might not. I could see 98 as easily as I could see 101. That's kind of a maybe we get there, maybe we don't day. Much more confident in Thursday, Friday, and Saturday being sort of the hottest days of this heat waves. And here's your weekend forecast. Happy 4th, 104 on Friday. When we're supposed to be, that's the federal holiday day is on Friday. Everybody gets that extra day where I pray, please go to the pool. Or please keep yourself cool. Park it in a place with AC. That is going to be a hot day, record-breaking day. And that'll be the day. We went 104. I have guidance as high as 108. DC has never been higher than 106, and we haven't been at 106 since 1930. So it's been a while since we've gotten that hot. We have been 105 a couple of times. The last time I believe we had a 104-degree day was 2 years ago. We did it middle of July 2024. And then prior to that, we did it in 2012. And the day we hit 104 was the day of that massive derecho. You probably don't remember. Chris certainly does.
It was today.
That was derecho day, which, yes, it is the anniversary of derecho day, June 29th, 2012. If you lived around here, you'll never forget that day. That was one heck of a day. And then what you might remember about the derecho, the next day, heat didn't go away. And that's kind of the same thing here. Saturday 101, 96, we're kind of breaking it towards the end by Sunday. The concern I have is that when these ridges start to fade, you do have to watch out for thunderstorms each afternoon, because think about what I said before. When you're under the heat core, it's sinking air. When they start to pull back, the air is no longer being suppressed. You're not suppressing convection. So with the heat and humidity building, it's going to go up. And what goes up must come down as rain, lightning, storms. That does include Saturday. To be completely honest with you, as I sit here now on Monday, the biggest concern day I have is the 4th of July. That right now looks like the most. Now, that could change in the days ahead. I won't go into the details of how we use weather models, but we need to get a little closer for these what we call convective models, the more high-resolution stuff, because what we call the global, so your European, the GFS, you hear about it in snow season, those will give you a general idea of like instabilities here, but they won't give you a timing on the storms and how severe they could be. We got to get a little closer for that. But just the environment out there on the 4th of July is not a stable one. So we got to watch. If you're heading downtown, we got all these events downtown. We do have to watch out for that on Saturday. We're going to be watching it all week. Like, I'll probably join you every night if I have to, and we'll keep you ahead
Happily.
of us.
We're happy with that. Now,
Yeah.
Mike, let me ask you this one. So in terms of the timeline to get to this heat, if people are out there doing activities on these days, what would be the best times?
Yeah, do it in the early morning.
Anything, yeah, like anything that's like reasonable.
Early morning, and like, for example, please do this. Number one, and I can say this on Fox Local, don't lock your kids in your car. Don't leave your kids in your car. Don't leave your dog in your car. Nothing in your car.
At no time of day.
Go alone and go to the store and then go home. Nothing in the back seat, please. No, and
Good sound advice.
my fiance is a vet tech, and they get more heat-related causes of terrible things with animals this time of year than anything else. So
Paws, too,
please
yeah.
take it. And outdoor pets, bring them in during the heat of the afternoon. At the very least, bring them in. So take proper precautions in that regard. If you want to do activities, like I'm going to be up early to walk my dog, I will walk him when I get home. If we get home at midnight,
Yeah.
I'll walk him at midnight, when the sun's not up. And
Got it.
that pavement, when it's 100 degrees outside, is going to get up to like 120, 130. Like it's going to get hot. It might even get hotter than
Jeez.
that. So you'll burn their paws. So
It's like 5 a.m. to like 11.
yeah,
is
you
your sweet
try to
spot.
be up around or before sunrise if you can be. I know sunrise is super early this time of year. I'm showing you, or we're showing you right now, the records. Believe it or not, for as hot as 4th of July is around here, and we've had some hot ones, a lot of them in the 90s, we've only had one 100-degree day on the 4th of July. It was back in 1919. So right now we're forecasting 101. So that would be the hottest 4th of July ever. Happy 250th America.
I guess.
But we'll see. I mean, then this is the thing about 100-degree heat around here. We balance it with humidity a lot, and humidity is sort of like it'll feel like it, no doubt about that. But if we're too humid, then it slows down the rise in temperatures.
Right.
It still doesn't feel. It still feels terrible. You'll get a high temperature of 98, but it'll feel like 115. Like it feels awful if the dew point gets close to 80, and we could get there on a few days.
I have two quick questions for you. One, do you have any recent memories of weather impacting the July 4th festivities, fireworks, Capitol 4th celebrations? And two, we've talked a lot about how this year's fireworks are going off much later than normal, 11 p.m. range. Is that better in the sense of hoping to get them in if there are any storms earlier in the day?
Essentially, I think the later the better, generally speaking, yes. The problem with what happens with storms on days like this is if one fires, typically they trigger what they call outflow boundaries, which is that cold air coming out from the storm. And that acts like a wave in the atmosphere, and that's pushing air up. And if there's nothing to stop it, you're going to trigger more storms and more storms. And I've seen nights where the radar, it starts with 2 storms, and then by the end of the night, and usually that would be like 9, 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
Okay.
the radar's lit up like a Christmas tree. It's not necessarily severe, but it's heavy rain, it's lightning, it's thunder. They wouldn't do the fireworks. I'm not saying that'll happen on the 4th of July. What I think we need to be most hopeful for is we get a wave through here during the dinner time hours, and it would get it out of here.
Right.
My biggest concern is because of the heat that we're looking at and the humidity, that whatever wave we get is going to have a severe component to it. How widespread? The worst thing imaginable would be, could we get a squall line or a derecho? I don't want to use that word because everybody goes to 2012. 2012 was an extreme case of a derecho. Doesn't happen. Every derecho is not like that one. But we could certainly see a squall line, and a squall line has some severe winds with it. And you got a lot of people out on the mall. You got tents up down there. That stuff could be blowing around. Okay, it's Monday. I don't want
Yeah.
to preach doom and gloom.
Obviously.
we got a week to watch it.
Could be a
We'll
fast
be
storm like in
watching
Florida.
this.
Could be up and down.
We just want you to be safe.
Right,
absolutely.
I'm going to be working on Saturday, so you all can be
Yep.
safe. And these two,
We'll all be
these
here.
two,
We'll
too.
be
We'll
here
all
together.
be here.
Maybe we'll all be here together,
Right.
watching. Maybe
The whole
Christmas
weather
tree,
team's going to be here
watching,
keeping you safe.
Go
So
over there.
yeah.
We'll all be watching the radar and say, "Is that a Christmas light?" You'll see it all up there. You know?
Oh, did you know it was like the halfway point to Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, right, it
It
is.
will be.
Merry halfway.
Christmas in July.
Merry halfway Christmas. Well,
Right.
technically, I don't know why we do Christmas in July. It's Christmas in June,
True.
like
is.
it should be.
I
Why
know,
do we do
think about it,
Christmas?
no,
And
but
then we
think
do
about it, at the end of the
Summerween.
month,
Where's
I
the
can see it because at the end of the month of December, it's kind of like the last
See,
part of it.
I
so
love that we
maybe-
can transition on this show
can.
just from
Yeah.
extreme heat
No.
and don't walk your pets in
Extreme
the
heat
heat.
for
and
Christmas.
Christmas in July.
Final negative question for you. So that little pink circle that we saw in your radar presentation there, which is
Oh.
DC happens to be just in that one little pink circle where everything else is red. Okay? Let me ask you this. What is it about DC's condition? Is it that we're a swamp that draws that opportunity for more heat?
No, so it's actually the fact that where we're located relative to a mountain range, and I say mountain range
Mountain
in
range.
quotations because anybody who lives to the west of here, like, and I mean like far,
Yeah.
like Colorado, they look at us and go mountains.
Mountains.
Those Appalachians, but those hills do mountains. They play a pretty big impact, and if you have a western wind, which we'll have a little bit, you're going to add an additional what we call downsloping. It's just all compressed air.
And more heat.
A lot, yeah,
Just
it's
great.
just more heat, and it's not just us, but it's all the way down the I-95 corridor. Kind of has that same impact.
You gotta love it.
Mike, let's end on something beautiful. Take a look at this strawberry moon live above the U.S. Capitol.
Whoa, I thought you
on
were
this
going to pull up a
Monday
picture
night.
of me. Like,
Well, yeah, that
Right.
too. But I mean, look at that. How
sight
great
to
is that?
see.
Yeah, that is great. Right over the
I mean,
Capitol. Strawberry moon.
perfect placement.
Yeah, like a Shirley Temple kind of color.
It makes me want to get out and pick some strawberries.
Ooh.
Is
I like that.
all right. Explain to us what a strawberry moon actually
What's the
is.
pink lemonade?
Well, no,
And then I got to let you go because you got to get ready for
yeah,
the next show.
It's June's full moon, and they call it that because the strawberries are ripe this time of year, and
Beautiful.
people used to be. It's bright enough that you could pick strawberries on a night.
I like that.
Mike
now
Thomas.
we don't
That is
need
good
the moon.
content. Me picking strawberries.
But we don't need the moon anymore. We got flashlights.
Is it
Some
true?
modern
Is it?
day.
You know what though? Going, kind of.
What did I
what's
just do?
beyond analog? Just full nature. I like that idea.
Yeah.
There
Man,
it is.
I really
Well
enjoy
done, my
time.
friend.
You do. You got to go.
You
Mike
gotta
Thomas.
go.
He'll have
Don't
a
make it too
full
stressed, you know?
forecast coming up at
We'll see you
10
in 10
right here
minutes.
on
Exactly.
Fox
You gotta get
Local.
going.
And of course, we will keep you up to date every
you,
day
sir.
leading up to the big holiday weekend on air, streaming, and of course on Fox Local. Mike, you are free to
How
go
do I give you a
because
high five, Chris?
exactly.
So-